Hi guys, a couple of quick ESCs to look at. In my continuing search for small micro ESCs, I came across this guy, which is a Racerstar 25 amp 20x20mm 4-in-1 ESC, and I was hoping that this might solve my problems with small battery lead pads. And it doesn't. Well, not as I would hoped it to anyway. But basically, what you've got here is a BLHES BB2 chip, 25 amp, and if you go on the Avant website, you'll notice that they use Sunrise Cicada 25 amp 4-in-1 ESCs, and I guess that is what this is, as Racerstar sometimes just rebrand Cicada ESCs, which are pretty good ESCs, so it should be okay. The ESC itself feels really good quality compared to the other ones I've been using, the XJB ones, etc. It feels really nice. It's got nice thick board on it, so it should cope with the ampage that it's quoting pretty well. The thing that does annoy me is this is a 25 amp ESC, so in theory you could run a 5-inch quad with this, with pretty high powered motors, but it comes with, yet again, 18 gauge wire, which just isn't enough. Now, to put this to the test, I'm going to run this on one of my 4-inch quads, I think, running 1407 motors, and I'm going to see if I smoke the wires, and if I do, I'm going to contact Banggood and get a replacement. If I don't, then happy days, it means we can use smaller wires. As you can see, there's no connector on this. It's simply the signal wires are soldered directly to the board, which I really like. If you take this cover off, there are just little pads here which you can add on, so you've basically got signal 1 to 4, and there's also a ground pad under there as well. I think that's better than having a big plastic connector which you'll probably break and end up hunting around on eBay for a new connector. So it's a pretty small, light unit. With the wires on, it weighs 11 grams, and with an XT60 it comes in at about 13 grams, so it's certainly lighter than most of the bigger 4-in-1 ESCs out there, which tend to come in at about 20 grams. The mount holes on this are M2.5, so in the bag of stuff they send to you, you get some really long nylon screws, which is nice, but you also get these little sliders, white plastic sliders, which slide into the mount holes, so you can use normal M2 screws if you want without them rattling around. So yeah, so it doesn't really answer what I was looking for in terms of being able to use 16 gauge wire on my 3 and 4 inch quads. The one thing it does have actually, which is actually quite nice, is even though the solder pads, as you can see, are tiny small, it actually has them on the back as well. So if you were trying to get 16 gauge wire on here, which is going to be really tricky, at least you've got an additional bit of solder at the back which you can overlap onto, which might help. So yeah, so I'm going to try this out in a 4-inch quad with 1407s, see what happens to these wires. If it runs fine and we don't lose too much performance, then great. If not, then I'll try and bodge some 16 gauge wire onto it.